LOWENFIELD, MINGO and Myers terminated. Healthcare workers and public transport operators given additional time to get vaccinated. STABROEK market vendors protest rumors in the region. Panama-Colombia agrees to take in 650 migrants daily at shared border. And internationally, Asia-Pacific countries battle COVID's Delta variant surge. Greetings and welcome to another edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. The Guyana Elections Commission today terminated the contracts for Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowenfield, Deputy Chief Elections Officer Roxanne Myers, and the Region 4 Returning Officer Claremont Mingo. This was done by a majority vote of 4-3. The four persons being GCOM's chairman, Justice Claudette Singh, and the three government-nominated commissioners, while the opposition-nominated commissioners abstained from voting, except in the case of Lowenfield, who has no provision in his contract. All contractual terms that provide for benefits shall be honored during the termination. The three officers are before the court charged for matters related to the March 2020 general and regional elections. While it is recommended that pregnant and nursing women get vaccinated against COVID-19, the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Narayan Singh, has suggested that if they do not wish to be vaccinated at this time, they should be exempted. Dr. Singh has advised that, based on recommendations from the World Health Organization and the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention, several categories of people can be exempted from taking the COVID-19 vaccines, including pregnant women and people with active infections. In a memo copied to the Minister of Health and other officials, Dr. Singh said the Ministry of Health will only administer the vaccines to mothers who request them. He explained that mothers who do not wish to be vaccinated for the duration of their breastfeeding period will be exempted. The Chief Medical Officer also said patients with any clotting disorder such as hemophilia, chemotherapy and dialysis patients should be given clearance from their attending physicians before receiving the vaccines. People with acute cardiac issues or acute cerebrovascular events cannot take the vaccine until they have recovered and obtained clearance from their doctors. Patients with an active infection should not receive the vaccine until they have recovered. Additionally, people with sickle cell and epilepsy can receive the vaccines. However, the date of their most recent attack should be identified. The Chief Medical Officer said persons who fall within the exemption group and are in the public system will be tested regularly through the public system. Last evening, Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony released a statement allowing healthcare workers, public transport operators and conductors additional time to get vaccinated or produce negative COVID-19 test results at intervals. The statement reads as follows. As a result of representations made by various stakeholders to my office on section of the COVID-19 Emergency Measures number 20, issued on the 29th of July 2021, the stakeholders represented to me that healthcare workers, public transport operators and conductors require additional time to comply with the order. I have examined the request and wish to announce that healthcare workers, public transport operators and conductors will be given 2 weeks to comply with the order. I wish to reiterate that the government of Guyana has secured enough vaccines for the adult population. Guyanese have a choice of first and second dose AstraZeneca or Sinopharm and first dose Sputnik V. Additionally, the Pfizer vaccine for our children will soon be available. I wish to reiterate that vaccines are safe, effective, and if you are fully vaccinated, it will reduce your chances of infection, hospitalization, and death. Please protect yourself, your family, and your community. Get vaccinated. Early this week, vendors from the STABROEK Market Square gathered at a mayor and city councillors meeting in protest of a rumor of their removal from the STABROEK market area. Esther Sobers was there and she filed this report.
No interim! No interim!
Last Tuesday, scores of vendors from the STABROEK Market Square gathered at the Kitty Market Road where the mayor and city councillors met for the town council meeting. The vendors were there to air their concerns regarding rumors of being removed from the market by the interim town council, Candace Nelson.
Most of us is single parents, and she removing me is like she putting me in the pressure. What more she want us to do?
She's removing you guys from vending?
Yeah, she said she don't want no vendors.
Which area?
STABROEK area.
It would be affected in the future because they said no vendoring will be take place in.
Who said so?
And I is a vendor for all my years.
Who said so?
Who says so that these vendors? There's a verdict we're hearing. So it will be affecting us.
Have you guys called for a meeting with the town clerk? Was there any official meeting with the town clerk? Any official meeting has been done with the town clerk? The majority of the vendors present at the protest were unable to provide the name of the person who informed them that they would be removed from the market.
To reach for the pump for bulldoze, the pump for pack up, you can't sell because I've been in this position before when they moved the vendors from STABROEK market when we had to retreat. The time Jack Dio was the president and we end up meeting with he and he give me permission for vend, right? But we ain't waiting till this thing get hot and out and would have taken we out of bread. Can you remember many of us got our family to feed. This is our daily living. We don't know nothing else. We don't know nothing else. You understand? So you put yourself in my position where you know that you're going to lose your job or you can't make money for your family, right? That would be very devastating for you.
When Headline News contacted the mayor for his position on the vendors' removal from the market, the mayor said he's unaware of any such move. Mr. Mayor, there's also from the vendors outside that someone told them they have to move. Who did the instructions come from?
So where?
STABROEK market, the vendors, they have to move from STABROEK market.
I don't know, ma'am. This month is generally published countrywide and internationally. So I don't know.
For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Don't go away. After the break, Ghana Police Force made another breakthrough in the Wallison Enterprises heist and 2 injured in a railway embankment accident.
Survival Shopping Complex brings to you its delivery service, Shop through WhatsApp. This process is simple. All you need to do is call or message your grocery list to 613-9683 and we will select your items for you and have them delivered directly to you, even out of town. This is convenient because we can stay on the phone with you as we select your favorite brands. We're happy to do your shopping for you. Contact us on WhatsApp today and shop price smart at Survival Shopping Complex.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 4-6 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Tastes so good. It's gotta be made with Alabama Baker wheat flour. Produced from quality soft winter wheat and quality enzymes to give a superior product that's guaranteed to be luscious, delightful to taste, and stays fresher longer. Alabama Baker wheat flour is perfect for breads, roti, puri, pastries, chow mein, pastas, and many other delights. Imported and distributed by Alabama Trading. 6566 Robb Street, Borda, and 23 Lombard Street. Telephone 225-5800.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Good girl forget things.
Who's the
problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. The Ghana Police Force made another breakthrough in the gold and money robbery investigation yesterday. They discovered a car used to take the suspects to Wallison's enterprise on Gordon Street in Kitty on the day of the incident. According to the crime chief, the driver of the car abandoned it in front of his home and left for the interior. According to witnesses in the neighborhood, the man carried home a canter load of household items he allegedly purchased the day after the heist. Some of the items the man took home included a fridge, a television, a music set, and kitchen appliances, among others. The crime chief confirmed that the man was the driver of the car on the day in question and is currently being pursued by the police. On Thursday, August 5, 2021, 3 men arrived in a white car and under the pretext of wanting to sell raw gold, allegedly robbed Wallison's enterprise of $30 million in cash, 60 ounces of raw gold, and cell phones. On Tuesday, the 3 men appeared in court. They were remanded to prison until August 24, 2021. However, the driver remains at large. Investigations continue. Police are investigating an accident on the railway embankment on the east coast of the Marara, which has left 1 person seriously injured. Esther Sobers has more.
The police are investigating a serious accident involving a motor car and a motorcycle that occurred yesterday on the Boxon Railway embankment, East Coast Demerara. According to a police report, the driver of the motor car, Tandiko Washington, was proceeding north on the railway embankment when the car collided with a motorcycle CK 7528, which was heading in the western direction. The motorcycle is owned and driven by Samuel Best. At the time of the accident, he had a pillion rider, Sion Holder, a security guard from Haslington, East Coast, Demerara. As a result of the collision, the driver of the motorcycle and the pillion rider fell, causing them to receive injuries to their bodies. They were taken to the Georgetown Public Hospital. They were seen and examined by a doctor on duty, who treated and sent away the driver while admitting the pillion rider as a patient. A breathalyzer test was conducted on Washington, which showed no traces of alcohol. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Police are investigating the discovery of more than 9 kilograms of ganja in a salt bag at the New Amsterdam market earlier this morning. Facts disclosed that around 6 a.m., a town constable attached to the New Amsterdam Mayor and Town Council was on patrol duty in the New Amsterdam market area when he saw a bulky salt bag in the market. Upon opening the bag, he discovered 7 bulky parcels. He then reported the matter to the Central Police Station. A rank subsequently visited the scene where, upon checking, he observed the parcels to contain several seeds, leaves, and stems suspected to be cannabis. The rank took the salt bag with its content to the Central Police Station, where it was weighed and amounted to 9.7 kilograms. It was then sealed and lodged at the New Amsterdam Police Station. Don't go away after the break. Panama-Colombia agrees to take in 650 migrants daily at shared border, and U.S. COVID. Growing calls for vaccine mandates for health workers. But before that, here is the bridge retraction schedule.
Problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
For decades, milk has remained the same. Until now. Introducing the Great Dairy Full Cream Milk from Alabama Trading. Enriched with vitamins A to D and calcium to promote healthy teeth, strong bones, and vitality. Great Dairy Milk is delicious and fortified to encourage healthy cell growth within the body. No wonder it's the #1 brand of milk produced in Ireland. Now available nationwide in 400-gram packages at leading supermarkets and wholesale vendors. Distributed by Alabama Trading.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Survival Shopping Complex brings to you its delivery service, Shop Through WhatsApp. This process is simple. All you need to do is call or message your grocery list to 613-9683 and we will select your items for you and have them delivered directly to you, even out of town. This is convenient because we can stay on the phone with you as we select your favorite brands. We're happy to do your shopping for you. Contact us on WhatsApp today and shop price smart at Survival Shopping Complex.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at news in the region and around the world. Panama and Colombia has struck a deal aimed at managing the growing migrant crisis at their shared border. Where a humanitarian crisis is growing, the countries will receive up to 650 migrants each day as they wait to travel north to the U.S., Al Jazeera's Teresa Bow reports.
They have been living in this reception center in Panama for 2 days. But this group of Cubans says what they experienced over the past week was like a nightmare. They ventured into the Darien Gap, a jungle that separates Colombia and Panama, and managed to survive. On the journey through the jungle, Aliuk Hernandez says they were robbed and shot at by criminal organizations.
We were around 60 people when 8 men with masks and weapons asked us to give them $100 each. Many of us didn't have the money. We escaped that situation because on the other side of the river, somebody started shooting and we were in the middle with pregnant women and lots of children.
Hernandez says the group lost all their belongings and still bear the scars of the jungle.
They tell you one thing, but you see another. Imagine you walk through a trail and you start seeing bodies there.
Thousands of people are daring to make the crossing. They come from Cuba, Haiti, and other countries around the world.
There's over 300 people in this reception center. Most of them call themselves survivors of the Darien Gap. In this place, people are giving some shelter, some food. They're treated for their injuries. And this is the place where they get ready to continue with their journey.
Videos sent to Al Jazeera by migrants show people trying to cross mountains and cliffs in the jungle. Nobody knows how many people have died this year. There are only the tales of those who saw them go missing. Rescue operations have become an everyday issue. This video shows a team of Panamanian Border Patrol agents rescuing 2 migrants whose boat was destroyed by current. Countries in the region are trying to address the ongoing crisis. Panama says it would like to help the migrants, but insists needs to organize the flow.
Panama has been receiving 1,000 migrants a day, which surpasses our capacity and the capacity of our neighbors. So we announced a quota to attend the crisis. We will start at 650 and then go down to 500.
Controlling the entrance to Panama is a major challenge. People here don't know how or when they will arrive. But they're determined to reach North America, despite the dangers they face along the way. Teresa Bo, Al Jazeera, Darien, Panama.
Internationally, about 1 in 4 hospitals in the U.S. now requires their staff to get a jab against COVID-19. Already in the states such as New York, California, and Washington, vaccinations are compulsory for healthcare workers. That leaves frontline staff with increasingly little choice to get the shot or ditch their jobs. Al Jazeera's John Hendrins report.
To work at Rush University Medical Center, there's a new rule. Get the jab or get another job.
I think it's the right thing to do. We are in healthcare. We should be maintaining health, and we shouldn't be putting our patients at risk. And even though the risk of transmitting COVID from a healthcare worker to a patient is low, it's not zero.
There are strict exemptions for religious or medical reasons, but in general, healthcare workers are now required to practice what they preach. About 70% of U.S. adults are at least partly vaccinated for COVID-19. It's 60% if you include the children under 12 who are not eligible. For healthcare workers, the numbers are similar, though at Rush they've now reached 85%.
We're trying to decrease transmission of the Delta variant, so if you come here and everybody's vaccinated, then you're less likely to leave with the virus.
Rush stands at the vanguard of a growing movement. Nearly 15,000 hospitals, about 1 in 4 across the U.S., now require staffers to get the COVID vaccine, according to the American Hospital Association. And states like New York, California, and Washington have issued vaccine mandates for healthcare workers.
Like it or not, vaccine mandates work. Since Chicago began requiring a vaccination or a negative test to attend most concerts, more people have gotten vaccinated. And since France began requiring a similar health pass to attend bars, restaurants, and most indoor venues, millions more people signed up to get the shot. And that's crucial to reach the kind of herd immunity that will stop those new variants from popping up.
Still, some are saying no to inoculation. And there have been protests across the country by thousands of vaccine-wary healthcare workers.
You have every right not to get vaccinated. We're not going to force you to get vaccinated, but you may have to find another place to work.
That's exactly what happened to workers at RWJ Barnabas Health in New Jersey, which recently fired half a dozen senior employees for refusing to get vaccinated. With more companies in and out of healthcare requiring the vaccine to enter the office doors each day, that leaves anti-vaxxers with increasingly few options. John Hendren, Al Jazeera, Chicago.
And finally, countries around Asia Pacific are battling surges of new COVID-19 cases due to the Delta variant. Daily infection numbers reached new heights in South Korea this week as more cities in Australia and Philippines went into lockdown. Al Jazeera's Scott Hallier reports.
From South Korea down to Australia, a surge of new COVID-19 cases fueled by the highly infectious Delta variant has governments scrambling to respond. Australia's capital Canberra entered a 1-week lockdown. The city reported its first locally transmitted case in more than a year in the Australian Capital Territory, ACT.
This decision is as the result of a positive COVID-19 case in the Territory, a case that has been infectious in the community. We also have positive wastewater detections around the ACT.
2 of Australia's largest cities, Sydney and Melbourne, are also seeing high infection rates, despite weeks of being locked down. For the first time in the pandemic, South Korea posted more than 2,000 new daily cases earlier in the week. It led to a plea from the government for people not to travel this upcoming holiday weekend.
If we don't stop, coronavirus won't stop either. I would like to say to the public that we ask you to refrain from traveling, to stay at home during this Liberation Day holiday.
As many of the new cases are outside the heavily populated metropolitan Seoul area, officials are concerned that those returning to the city could bring COVID-19 with them. This week, the first of more than 1 million Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh started to receive COVID-19 vaccines. 20,000 infections and 200 deaths have been recorded in the Cox's Bazar district, location of the refugee camps.
We came here with happiness in our heart. We have received the shot after coming here. It's good to see that they are treating everyone equally and managing the process lawfully.
The usually bustling streets of the Philippine capital, Manila, reduced to a trickle of traffic. Only those with authorization can leave their homes. The government imposed a heavy 14-day lockdown this week, as like many of the neighboring nations, it works to stem the rapid spread of new COVID-19 infections and a spike in deaths from the virus. Scott Heidler, Al Jazeera, Bangkok.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. For this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. Tune in on Friday at 5:30 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, stay safe and take care.